Hello and welcome to this week's episode of So Fired. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
I'm Dr. Lindsay Regier.
And each week on So Fired, we take life's shitty things and turn them into pretty things.
And we share all of our issues because they never, ever end.
Great.
And this week, there's a windy road to get to where we're going. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, so buckle up.
Who wants to go for a ride? Sweet. But before we do, Lindsay, what's your So Fired of the week?
My So Fired is that...
Okay, enough's enough.
Okay, I am so stubborn. Like,
oh, I know. God,
yeah.
You're such a pain in the ass.
I'm such a pain in the ass.
Like, okay, real quick. I'm just happy that you allow me to, like acknowledge, you're like, God, you're such a little shit. Like, just fucking do it.
I'm like, no, I don't want to. That's stupid.
But then I'm now starting to learn, I'm going to enjoy when she comes back on this one. Okay, go on.
So I'm so stubborn, and I feel like Chelsea is just like fucking with me half the time about like, look at these stupid shoes that I bought. Like, this is what everyone's wearing. And I was like, no, you're wrong. Like, those are ugly.
Wait, did you tell them what they
No,
are?
I'm leading up to,
Okay,
because they're ugly. She's trying to talk me into it. Like, no, they make sense. Like, if you don't want to wear a sneaker or a boot, this is what makes sense. And you know what she says? Clogs. A Dansko clog. And she shows up in these clogs, and I'm like, oh my God, I literally cannot believe you're going out in public in those clogs. Like, and
Can
you know what?
Describe them?
There's a wooden Dutch heel with a blue suede.
Uh-huh. Like an indigo.
Yeah, an indigo. So the color is not really offensive or anything.
That's right.
She almost came home with an ugly ass color.
Oof.
So
This was an evolution of my own. But go,
Yeah.
okay, so it's got like
it's like a Dutch wooden heel, an indigo suede on top.
like almost, I don't know, it's not even that dark. Anyway, point
Yeah.
being.
And I was like, okay, yeah. I'm like, I don't like them, but you know what's going to happen? I'm going to have to end up buying them because...
Wait. Is this a conversation you're currently having in your head the minute you see them? Okay, go on.
And I was like, I hate this so much. I hate the shoe trend. I hate it. But I'm a trend follower, and I'm going to have to follow the trend. And I'm so mad about it. But what do? Like, a few hours after I see these clogs on her feet.
How many hours?
Like 6, maybe? No, not even. Like, probably 4.
Okay.
I'm at Target, and I'm buying clogs. And I'm like, oh, God, they do make sense. Like, my mind has been changed. I'm so easily influenced. I think they're still kind of stupid. They're not my favorite shoe. But I'm like, you know what? I will come along for the journey of this trend. I don't have to be such a hater. I'm trying to get over my stubborn ways of being a pain in the ass. So, I mean, in turn, it's like a So Fired for you. So you don't have to like defend yourself all the time.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
I like having, you know what? Thank you for that. However, I get off on the argument.
You do like the
I
argument.
fucking love the argument of the art form. What do I mean? Hey, Lindsay, no, I'm telling you, these shoes like really make sense. Like I wear them with jeans. Like, why would you do that? Well, because sometimes I just don't want to wear a sneaker. And like, it's too early in the season to be wearing like a Chelsea booty. So I like my ankles to still be out because I still want to enjoy like the warm weather. And that's why, and do you know how many times I'm in and out of the house? I take the dogs in and out, and then I go to the patio and whether I just a slip on. And I've been wearing those ugly ass dance coats at work, and I don't want to be seen in those. So I am elevating my game, and it looks sophisticated, like I'm from Brooklyn. And that is how you get someone to buy shit 4 hours later.
And I was like, I'm like, really, the So Fired part for me is like, you know what? Fuck it. It's new shoes. Like, who doesn't love new shoes?
Good call. Totally good call. Exactly.
Yeah.
That feeling is so...
Uh-huh.
I don't know that there's any greater feeling on a daily basis.
There's not.
It hits like in the pancreas for me. I'm like, oh, right where a potential shot would go. Next Friday at 9:30 a.m.
What's your So Fired?
What is my So Fired? So, after I saw you yesterday, well, first you saw my clogs, and then I dropped you off at work. I was like, I guess I'll go for a hike. It's been a minute. And then I had to, like, bribe myself. I'm like, just wear the jeans you have on. You don't have to change in and be wilderness girl. Let's just go for a fucking walk. Because it's been so long. Anyway, Like, I'm like this same outfit practically, and then like hiking boots. And I'm like, I'm not really hiking. Turns out it was just a very nice walk.
Okay.
It was like just a pebbled walkway that never gets steep. It just goes on and on. It looks like a movie scene.
That sounds lovely.
It really was. And
Yeah.
the water was spectacular. This September, like, colors are crisp and just cold enough that, like, accents the, like, shimmer of the water on the pond. I saw livestock. I saw a herd of sheep run down the cliff from the waterfall alongside the waterfall and, like, start drinking at the bank's edge. I was like, oh, my God, Lindsay would be dying right
I'm
now.
like, oh,
I
sad
was
I
so
missed
excited
it.
for you. I was like, this is next level. And the baby, they weren't just like standing there. You know how deer will just freeze up? I don't know what these were. I don't know if they were the sheep. I have it on video. But they were like walking around with their pails. It was lunchtime. It was high noon at the office, and everyone was getting some cake in the conference room.
I'm like, it looks like they're having such a good time, and I wish I was there.
I know. Then the most magical thing happened. I must be 3 feet above the water that runs below. So it's like a legit river, like a small river.
Okay.
Lots of flyer fishermen,
Oh.
right?
Uh-huh.
So this is C470 West, the Waterton Canyon. Anyway, there's an aqueduct drinking portable water. So they've given, like, there's an easement anyway. So it's like a park and a public land, and I don't know. So it's rocky cliffs, pathway, water. So I'm 3 feet above looking down at a flyer fisherman. Now he is, I don't know how many yards away from this fish, but quite a ways. What the guy doesn't realize is he and the fish are on the same line.
Oh.
But there's so much distance.
Yeah.
And the fisherman's a little bit higher and can't see down. And they're only like a foot apart from the end of his cast to the fish. And I'm like, oh my God, they're so close. Ah! And you're like, should I yell to the fisherman to like do something? You're like that close. But it was so awkward. These two were like at a standoff. But because the water was so clear down below,
Yeah.
I could see it. And I
Oh
was
my
just like-
God.
it was like, oh, there was another guy standing next to me. He's like, are you seeing this? And I'm like, that's right. I was like, wow. Anyway.
I think the fish are just putting on a performance.
I know. He was like, fuck you,
Yeah.
fucker. Look how close I am. Okay, so my so fired was not just that. However, a lot of livestock, as I've described. I heard something above me, like on the rocks, and I actually thought it was, because now I'm terrified. There's like, don't do this, and do this, and don't do, and you're like, that's a long list. There's just,
Did you think there was a mountain lion that was going to pounce on you?
yeah, I did.
Oh.
It wasn't.
Oh, oof.
I looked
Okay.
up, and it was a boulder careening down at
Oh,
my face.
Jesus.
It was like coming at me. I was like, oh fuck, this is just like in the movie.
Oh my God.
I was like, I should get out of the way. That's what I always thought I should do, is get out of their way. I like jumped forward. I like ran and jumped forward.
Oh my God.
And then it like hit down below.
Wow.
Same guy was like, oh, I thought you were getting eaten by something at first. I'm like, no, it was just a boulder about to like. Anyway,
Wow.
that surge, I'm like, well.
That's a lot going on.
It was a lot. It was very. It was really. It was a very. It
really
You're
was.
like, why did you text me 15 times? So many things are happening. Point being is, no reason to worry about things because they're gonna happen. Whether and you might be having a good time, and then bam, you almost get hit by a boulder.
Yeah.
So why the fuck worry and just enjoy it?
Just enjoy
It
it.
was a really neat thing. Oh, by the way, I almost died.
Yeah. Side note, not important.
Whatever, but those animals, I had to live to tell you.
Oh my God. Yeah, you did. And send me the videos.
Yeah, there was quite a few.
I should go and look at wildlife.
I know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the walk in, not even as, like, it felt like walking Wash Park.
Oh, okay. I could do that.
Oh,
Could
yeah.
Layla come with me?
No.
Oh.
She wouldn't be able to last long enough anyway.
Oh, true.
Like, I thought I couldn't
Yeah.
bring my dogs. I
Yeah.
was like, this is just a very lengthy, long walk.
Okay.
Plus, they don't allow dogs just because they scare off the sheep with the barking.
Oh. Okay. Well, maybe I'll venture out and do that this weekend.
I know, I thought about it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know if you go.
Okay.
Okay, cool. We just made plans. That's what our real life looks like.
Yeah.
All right, so what else were we going to talk? Oh, a quick issue.
Yeah, a quick issue. My issue is that Hassan Minhaj, the comedian, is getting all of this flack for sensationalizing, amping up, kind of like a little bit embellishing his comedy.
How so?
As in, I'm trying to think of what story. Like, a lot of his stories are based on racism and politics and things He is Middle Eastern, I believe, or he's Indian. I think he's Indian. And it's like, you know, things that would happen to an Indian person stereotypically in America.
He's the it guy of the moment.
He is a guy of the moment. So I think people are having an issue with it of like, well, you're amplifying, you're amping up this racism that happened to you. And he's also in the political world. So people, I think, take him a little bit more seriously because he does talk politics and he's on.
They shouldn't.
I know. I was like, he is a comedian.
He's just an entertainer.
He's an
no different than,
entertainer.
like, guys that sit on Fox News and are just like bop 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 bop. But because you put him in front of a desk with a blue screen behind him, we think they're an authority.
I know.
You might as well throw him in a lab coat and call him a doctor. Jesus Christ! I mean, like what? I am a politician. Look, there I am.
Yeah.
To put me in an ugly ass suit with some people behind me.
Right.
That's your backdrop.
People lie all the time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. People that are not comedians lie all the time. Politicians lie all the time.
They're literally the
Celebrities
biggest
lie all the
liars. Like,
time.
why?
Literally everyone lies all the time. Like who the fuck cares if
We're
he's
going to
making
talk
stuff
about more
up?
liars later in the
Yeah.
episode.
Uh-huh.
Like I feel like the whole world is standing on the shoulder of liars.
Yeah. I know. So I'm like, what's the issue with him embellishing something? It's called comedy. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a comedy show.
And
Welcome.
haven't we give comedians like freedom of like poetic justice, if you will?
Yeah.
Like they just get the liberty. Like, would you be mad if someone wrote a book of fiction
No.
and embellished like their stories? Couldn't you just say this is a fictional? Like,
This is
character?
based on true events.
Yeah. Or
That's
not.
all you have to say.
Like, do you think we're all these things? Like, there's always going to be a little element, and it's the artist's decision,
Right.
to what degree they want to present their art.
Exactly. So I don't know. People are just cancel culture crazy, and they're looking for any reason to cancel anybody.
Is he being canceled?
People are trying to, but it's not happening.
Good.
He's actually going to be in Denver next year, and
I'd
maybe
like to go to see him rather than personally. I would be able to appreciate his body of work more than Drake's
yeah. Actually, maybe he's here in November.
this year.
Yeah, this
I
year.
would totally go see.
Yeah, I would totally go. He's really funny.
Great. I look forward to seeing him.
Yeah.
Leave them all alone. We hated Cat Williams. We hated Richard Dreyfuss. Oh, he was so odd. Like, he did say crazy things. Richard Pryor.
Oh,
Like, he said stuff that still makes your eyebrows raise. You didn't even think about, but what? You didn't cancel Michael Jackson, so we're fine. Set
yeah,
both
it's
down.
fine.
Relax.
It's like Michael Jackson is the gauge
Yeah,
of
yeah,
what
yeah.
to cancel
Yeah.
of. It was like, he still isn't really canceled.
I know.
So it's,
You're not even talking about it.
I know.
You're not even whispering about potentially canceling. I heard they might nothing. Crickets.
I know.
Okay, so fine. If he wants to lie, let him lie. He's not even lying.
Let him lie.
Anyway, issue. I don't have enough spoons in my house.
Me either. Oh my god. Yeah. Where are they going?
I don't know. I counted this morning. I counted the ratio of forks to spoons.
Because what happened a couple years ago, I was out of forks and I was like, where's all the forks going? So I bought a second set of forks. Where are all the spoons going? I am out of spoons in like 2 days.
I know. I have 4 littles.
Oh my
I have
gosh.
4 littles. And it's like 3 bigs.
Oh, yeah, you need more.
I have like, okay, if I have 3 spoons in my drawer right now, I can't do math. I counted 14 forks.
That's a lot of forks.
They take up two trays.
That's like, are we living in parallel universes in the kitchen? Because I have the exact same issue.
Oh, that was amazing. I didn't see that coming at all. You've been really on point today. You said some crazy shit already.
And then what's the butter knife situation?
Oh, I only have one. Only have one.
What?
Wait, what are the knives? Is that the knives?
The butter knife.
Not the little guy that.
The dull knife.
Oh, a lot. Definitely a lot. Not as.
Okay.
I don't know. Come on.
I probably have about like 5 or 6 butter knives.
Oh no, I have a lot.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot. I don't know if I have as many as forks, but it would be like 2 less.
Yeah, I would say like 15 forks, 6 butter knives, and 4 spoons.
What's with the spoons?
I don't know. Like, where have they traveled to?
And it's my personal opinion. Anything you're going to eat with a spoon is better.
Well,
Think about
apparently
it.
your roommates probably think the same thing too. and
No,
they're
I don't
hoarding
think they
them.
do. I don't think
No?
they ever use the spoons.
Oh.
They're fork people.
I did have to eat a smoothie bowl with a fork one time because I was out of spoons.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
It was really desolate.
You should have just opened your mouth
I
and like
should've. I
Ethiopian,
kinda-
like
yeah.
Middle Eastern food,
Oh yeah, I should have.
where you use your hands and you're just like, kind of like the way.
Or kind of like a cat and just like. like lick it with my tongue.
Yeah. Am I gonna get canceled because I said Ethiopia?
No, that is true.
They eat.
That
Some cultures eat with their hands. Okay.
My cousin actually taught English in Ethiopia.
Oh no shit.
And then she married an Ethiopian man, and now they live in Michigan.
That seems right.
Yeah.
And they have great coffee
They
ceremonies.
do. They do have great coffee
I was
ceremonies.
lucky attendee of like 2.
Yep, same.
Anyway. So this week, what are we gonna
Anyways,
keep talking about?
Well, okay.
Where
have
do
you
we
seen
start?
that trend about the Roman Empire?
Oh yeah. No, I haven't. Not until you told me.
So the trend about the Roman Empire is that
It's on TikTok.
it's on TikTok, and apparently men think about the Roman Empire all the time. And I asked my husband, I'm like, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
So the trend on TikTok is go to someone. Is it just men?
yeah.
You approach your person, whatever man, and you say, "Hey, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?"
And then most of them are like, all the time. Once a week, once a day. And my husband is like, what? Literally never. I'm like, okay, that seems normal. I don't know why people are thinking about the Roman Empire so much. So then I'm like, Chelsea, there's this trend on TikTok. How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
And what did I say?
What did you say?
Like all the time.
I'm like, what?
All the time. All the time.
Like, why?
I can't
What
stop.
are you
I think
thinking
about
about?
it all the time. I
What?
think about, actually, I wrote this down because I had a feeling you were going to ask me. And
Yeah, because I want to know, what are you thinking about the Roman Empire?
I hope I didn't lose the page.
And then I was thinking, what's the equivalent of my Roman Empire?
Is it the Salem witch trials?
No.
Is it, what would it be? What era?
Early 1900s?
Yeah, the Renaissance. Aren't you always thinking about being in the Renaissance?
No, okay. I'm thinking about 2 things. I'm thinking about Bridgerton times.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. And the Titanic. Do you struggle with bloating, anxiety, constipation, fatigue, skin issues, or other nagging symptoms, but don't know where to start or what to take to truly fix it? If this sounds like you, we have the perfect company that you need to meet. Gut Personal is a personalized functional medicine supplement and coaching company that gets to the root of your gut issues. Unlike generic supplements, Gut Personal developed a quick 2-minute quiz. You know we love a quiz, where you'll receive personalized supplement recommendations from expert functional medicine dietitians. This way, you know exactly what supplements your body needs to get relief. I personally use the booster and the prebiotic for better digestion, and I know when I take it consistently, even my skin looks a lot better. So if you're tired with dealing with painful digestive issues or mood swings, PMS, go over to gutpersonal.com, take their quiz, and then you can get your custom supplement regimen today. So visit gutpersonal.com and use code SOFIRED10 to get a 10% discount on your first order.
Oh. Wait, if those might be the same. It's just a different continent experiencing
Those are
the
very
same
different
decade.
time periods.
No, it's not. When was the? No.
The
When was
Titanic
Bridgerton?
is like 1912 or something like that. And Bridgerton is like 1850, 60.
like 70, 80s. Because think about the technology that they have in Bridgerton.
Like what?
Do they have cars?
No,
So they're just before the automotive,
they're in their carriages.
and so, yeah, 1860, huh?
I think so.
Because
Something
when
like
was
that.
the first?
I would love to live in that time period, so I think about it often.
Okay, so I think about it in terms of I think about it from philosophical, because they're
Oh.
the fathers of Stoicism.
Oh. All right, you're thinking about being stoic?
Like we talked about,
we talked about
So-
stoicism, and that's not you. Is
It's
it?
not me.
No.
It's that I appreciate those are the founding fathers of those principles that I admire. I am
Oh.
not like that, but if I were able to reach my goal, that's the kind of person I would be. Okay. If I actually tried to be that person.
Yeah.
I don't really try.
No.
So I am impressed by that, first and foremost. And then architecture. Like, you guys built some crazy ass shit. Like, how'd you do that? And then this is the foremost, top of the list. I think about the end of a civilization and what it looks like. What is their...
Doomsday prepper over here.
So you always learn from history. And
Yeah.
they had a good thing going, but then it fucked up. And I want to know what that looked like. Like, what did that... landscape look like specifically? And I'm trying to get a very detailed perspective to see if it all applies to now. That's what I think about.
Oh my God, that's like so sad.
I think about it frequently. I'm like, this is what it looks
You're like,
like.
is the end of civilization happening now?
We're
Let me look in my Roman Empire textbook.
Well,
and see
think
what
about it.
happened.
We can't. There's no free speech.
No.
There's like, identification now where you're like reassembling what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just like so many things, so many molecules and the technologies and the things. And there's just so much buzzing and it's changing. And it's like, there's so much internal friction energetically that I'm like, how does this turn back to good?
I have to be honest, I really know nothing about the Roman Empire.
It doesn't last. And they talked a good game while it lasted. That's it.
Like, I'm assuming there were emperors and then peasants.
Yeah, Julius Caesar was one.
Okay. I mean,
Punch-
that's kind of what is happening now. We've got our emperors / celebrities,
Exactly.
famous
Exactly.
people, and then we're just peasants.
Oh, let's talk about celebrities.
Yeah,
and
let's
peasants.
talk about celebs and peasants.
Okay, how do you want to start that?
Okay, well, first of all, we are certified influencers.
Yeah,
because
4 hours and I got her wearing ugly shoes.
Yeah. Because I will say single-handedly that we shamed Drew Barrymore into recanceling her show.
High five.
Yep.
Because that was bullshit, Drew.
It was. Because this is the thing about celebrities that I went down a rabbit hole on TikTok yesterday.
I wonder if it was the same.
The class.
No.
Oh.
I went on the other one.
Oh.
You go first.
I went down the class consciousness TikTok where it's weird that all these celebrities, Drew Barrymore, Ashton and Mila, and Russell Brand, I don't know, Joe Jonas, Danny Masterson. Okay. Like all these celebrities, like what is in the air right now that they're making terrible choices?
Right.
Yeah.
The end of civilization.
Yeah. Basically because they're so freaking out of touch because they only hang out with celebrities. They only hang out with rich people. They only hang out in Hollywood. Like they have a very small circle. So when you start to hang out with all of the same exact people, like that's your norm. That's like what we think it is. So like they can't even fathom the thought that people who are on strike right now and the SAG writers, they're like, what's the big deal? Like you have some money in savings, you'll be fine. Like what?
That's like Marie Antoinette.
Yeah. So
Right?
it's like
let them eat cake.
Yeah, let them eat cake.
Yeah.
So like they can't even understand why there is so much outrage and pushback about like Drew Barrymore wanting to start a show. I bet you she got paid a shit ton of money to go back. But she didn't say such of a thing. And then the writers are trying to, gather all together, work together, try to come to some sort of deal, which I think they will have a deal by the weekend.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But even the PR people that work for the celebrities are also so out of touch. Like no one can wrap their head around what's actually happening in the real world.
It feels like politics.
Uh-huh.
Like you guys, who are you talking to? Because you're not fucking talking to us. Like, what are you doing?
Like, if you need some PR and if you need some help from some peasants, like we're available. So
and like, you know what fucking kills me is like their image of peasants.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, they're on the reverse side of the mirror.
Yes.
Like we're just always looking under their horizon in the mirror of what it would be like to be a celebrity. Now they're on the other side and they're looking at us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what they envision the regular people to look like. It's the two examples. And I was like, oh, talk about a media template for apology to the public.
Mm-hmm.
A really bad camera angle.
Yep.
No makeup.
Yep.
Like 0 makeup, puffy red eyes, like messed up fucky hair, like
Make
hair.
sure you're in your sweatpants.
Yeah. Like real casual. And then the girls always have their hair like parted down the middle.
Yep.
As if it's like, oh, I'm a little more like natural. And then have a like upscale but not too fancy like backdrop. Like a really sophisticated Gwyneth Paltrow understated kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
or like gray shiplap in the back.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then be like, I'd like to acknowledge the people's pain that I've caused through my decisions that you think are bad choices. You're like, fuck you, dude.
It's like, that wasn't actually an apology.
Now, and I have lied my plenty in life. So like you pick up on those like facial cues, the like pursing of the lips. Yeah. And like the flaring of the nose, like I love facial expressions. That's kind of my
That is your
wheelhairs.
jam.
And so I'm like watching, studying. I'm like, bitch, you are so. Here's all I can say and try and sum it up in one sentence. Drew Barrymore is the embodiment of why the strikers or writers are striking.
Yeah.
You are the reason.
Yeah, it's all her fault.
I mean, like you're literally the reason
photo.
why. I feel like, oh, what are they striking for? To not work with people like you.
100%.
Sorry.
And it's also interesting because like celebrity culture has amplified since we've had the internet, right? In like 20, 30 years. So back in the day, people were rich as fuck. We just like didn't get to see an inside glimpse. And I love point. Like I love rich people. I love looking at the Kardashian stuff. I love the extravagance.
Yeah.
But I understand like the general population is kind of like, well, that's showing off and that's selfish and that's like too much. It's in excess when like I don't have enough to like buy a new car or something, you know?
Well, here's the thing. I also think it's because art is no longer imitating life.
Mm-hmm.
And there's such a class warfare right now in terms of like pay. So when your richer are getting richer, including Hollywood, and your general public is now getting poorer and poorer, like you want to nickel and dime us for like little subscriptions when you should be worried about us like buying the things you're selling. Like we can't even now, if you're looking at it, if you really have your ear to the ground, we're whining about a $15 additional like household charge on a Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what we're concerned about.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what we're talking about over
$15
here, and you guys are like talking about child pornography. It's like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, what are you even saying? It's like if you get high and you're like, what are you even saying right now?
Actually, you know what? This is like the celebrities when they put their name behind something, it's like child trafficking. It is the environment and global warming. It is like
I'm pissed that I forgot my recycle bags in the car because you're charging me 10 cents. Like, and the universe. I mean, like, but I mean, like, you guys don't even grocery shop.
No. Like the problems are so different. I'm like, oh yeah, like global warming, that's terrible. But like,
I didn't do it.
What can we do? It's like, oh, I guess I'll stop wasting the plastic bags and like, what am I supposed to do? Stop commuting to work and like take a bike? Like, oh, wow. Like, look at me change the world.
You should stop drinking Starbucks. Yeah. Stop drinking Starbucks. Because then the world would be a better place, but it's your fault. Because you have that overlook latte. You selfish bitch. Those dolphins you see in the nuts are because of your Starbucks in the morning. And those Sarah McLachlan videos of the size to see if you drink Starbucks.
It's all my fault that I didn't use a reusable cup.
If you save us $5 a day,
you could save the environment.
Okay, so that's where I'm challenged. What was the word you? What is it?
Class consciousness.
There is none, right? We're having a social warfare. There's the lack of classes. Like they're so steep these days. How can you even acknowledge it? On the flip side of it, or it's like seems like first cousin highway certain or like parallel lane is what was the word? What's my word? Oh, the performative human. No, hang on. We're gonna cut this, Jesse. Performative activism.
Oh, yes.
I didn't really know what that meant. I guess I knew what it was. I just didn't know what the name of it was.
I guess that also goes along with this whole global warming thing. And it's like, well, look, I'm not going to take my private plane from like California to LA this time. I'll share my private plane with someone else.
I'll let them foot the bill.
Yeah.
I'll sublease it and then it's fine.
That's so performative. Or like,
and what do they? Yeah, they're just going to hop on somebody else's.
Yeah.
For the one time they know the media is going to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with, okay, it's everything we're talking about right now. The fact that just because you are asked to write a character reference on a longtime friend, I don't know, you guys, you could have declined.
Could have declined. You know what I think happened is that the Scientology church, okay, because Danny Masterson's a Scientologist, I think they were threatening
No.
Ashton and Mila somewhat, but then also I think actually Ashton was gonna do it, and then I think Mila was gonna say no, like this is fucking stupid.
But what did they have to do in order for them to change their mind? Like what happened?
I
what
think that
backdoor thing happened?
like the Scientologists were like blackmailing them or something. That's my
is your
conspiracy theory.
I mean, it's not a bad one.
Because I think Scientology kind of runs Hollywood, and
I don't know how much they run Hollywood. I
I
definitely
think
think
a chunk of Hollywood.
Probably.
And then you can get blacklisted at any moment. That's how Danny
You know how you
got
get
away with it for
blacklisted?
so long.
You know how they get blacklisted? This is my theory. Is that anytime you're going to talk about sex trafficking or child pornography, see yourself stage left.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like talk about being like there. It must be so rampant. Like it's at least this is the way you guys are describing it, like low key coming out, that it's like rampant. It's like like in the 1800s in London with rats, pedophilia, just like amok everywhere. And it's like, what the fuck is happening over there? You guys can't even keep your shit together that you're all chattering so loud about. Like, are you just doing it in the alleys? What are you guys doing? Like you have that is why I think of civilization coming to an end. This is what we do to the children that we're raising. And it's like we have the same society that we worship and like idolize and hope to get to. This is what they do there.
Yeah. It's not good.
So then they were like, so we're against that. But that Thorn, that's like a non-governmental organization or whatever, it's really just the software monitoring sex trafficking. It's a software company. And he's partnered with Amazon and somebody else.
Oh. Huh.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah, he is.
His bestie is Jeff Bezos. Okay.
Wow.
He's on that level of like influence. He's just like one friend to the left. If you're in like that, when you're walking the red carpet.
Yeah.
And you get like, I don't know, the most popular person in the room, that person and their spouse. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You get that, like, pose for the picture before you go inside. Da, da, da. He's like he's still in the frame.
Yeah, he is.
He's still in the shot. He's just not in the frame of importance.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that that's what that company was.
Yeah. It's all it is a monitoring, like, software invasive, like, spy technology.
Which I'm sure is helpful, but I'm just like...
No, think about it. Amazon can now take the proprietary software.
Yeah, they can.
Right? And then use it somewhere on their like...
Oh.
And all their...
Yeah, and use it for their own
I bet they can, like, have
everything.
a camera in your refrigerator to detect what you're running low on.
Oh, 100%. I think that already exists.
That's what I mean. Like, they're fucking spying on us.
Well, it's just the performative part that I think of is like, why is that the cause that you choose? Like, why is sex trafficking the cause that you choose?
I feel like it's a
why is global warming the cause that you choose? Like, why is it like, I don't know, Food for America? They just pick the most like random shit.
Yeah.
To get back behind.
It's not that it's random. It's just broad.
It's broad because, it's like, well, like, that's what the PR person said. I got to attach my name to something so that I don't look like an asshole.
Yeah. I think it's a formula.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you are doing sex trafficking has to be the code word for something on the other side of like the evil mountain, right?
Yeah.
When they're like, oh.
But you know what? They should take your idea, or you need to like meet a celebrity or like Jeff Bezos and get funding. You need to have the farm for divorced women.
Oh, I know.
Before they can get their own housing.
Right.
Yeah. Like that's actually pretty legit.
I think so. I really think it would be a huge service, and it would be like a white shiplap farm.
Of course. Joanna Gaines came in and decorated it.
Yeah. And each one have their own like private bungalow.
Yeah. Private bungalows. You're learning more life skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting all situated in a house.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So I think like we should start that movement.
It's a fucking awesome idea. Because you know what I mean? And they're like, it's kind of more of a think tank on like Live Tank.
Mm-hmm.
So like you would have one of those high bistro tables and like as if you were at a coffee shop, and they'd all have their like MacBooks open. And then they would just kind of be like leaning in and doing like a group study on how to like bring your computer skills up.
Oh,
on a Mac, like on a Mac iOS.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like this is how you use Instagram. right? And catch them up if they don't already know these things. Like, so there would be that, like the technology portion of it. Anyway, so if anybody ever wants to ask me a little bit more about
Your initiative,
yeah.
not performative.
No, I don't think so.
It's
No,
initiative.
I represent that. I can speak from an experience. So that cancel culture is a real challenge, isn't it?
It's a real challenge. Like, we're all very eager to cancel on
I
a
don't
dime.
understand. So here's the thing. Everybody wants to be inclusive when we talk about, I don't even know. Can you say, is it gender consideration? Okay, like however you want to, like gender consideration, entirely inclusive. Great.
Mhm.
Body identification. But the minute those words leave my mouth, you're going to like fucking tackle them, beat them into the ground, bully the fuck out of them, and then like assert your dominance.
Because why not?
Well, if you don't want to do one, then don't do the other. My words like are a representation of me.
Right.
Are they my beliefs? Sometimes it still is an art form. We should just let everybody kind of be, unless they're like, hey, we're coming to a town near you to fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Just
Like let the words live.
You guys have so many platforms in which you've asked us. Let's talk about performative. You have given us so many live platforms in which you actually want to hear what we're saying. So now are you telling me the only thing you want to hear is what everyone is repeating back to you?
Yeah. We get stuck in a rut of things that we only get programmed to see in the algorithm.
Well, yeah.
You know,
and they're getting rewarded accordingly.
Mm-hmm. And then someone ruffles it and it's like, oh no.
Oh, we don't like that.
This person is a public figure. They should know better than to say something.
Oh, I know.
It's like, oh, but if you say it in private, it's fine. Like,
yeah. And like, they're liars. They're trained liars. Like, I don't know why we have such high hopes for them.
Yes. And I think, I don't know if like how the Roman Empire crumbled, but I think that there is a shift.
They were fucking small boys.
Oh.
I don't know if we can say, but they were doing the, how about this? Strike that. They were doing what Hollywood's currently doing.
Gotcha. But I think there's definitely a shift coming because people are seeing through all the PR stunts and we're like getting smarter to it.
But aren't you fascinated by them? Though?
I'm so fascinated. And I was like, I don't know who decided that we're just going to fuck with all celebrities and have them make bad decisions and keep us entertained.
I think
they need to go back to work because
maybe they had to let them go.
I guess.
Maybe they were starting to feel the pinch.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, seriously, what were they just left to their own devices?
They must have been because
like they turned their back to all their PR. This is when they go on holiday.
Yeah.
The PR agents go to the PR agent farm, and they're all left to themselves. And like, sure, I'll draft a letter for Danny. Who cares? Drugged and raped? Yeah, who cares? I mean, that's not who he was when I knew him. But you are still friends with him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're starting to see a shift of some kind. It's very messy.
Oof.
So I'm curious to see how the strike ends and what happens. I'm curious to see if the PR people are going to get it together, if the celebs are going to stop shooting themselves in the foot.
It's implosion.
It's an implosion. And like, I don't know, the peasants revolt.
They don't even, the class structure is so extreme.
It is.
There's like a moat behind their kingdom. You can't even get onto the plank.
I know.
Drawbridge.
But the thing is that like we still aspire to do it.
Oh, I know. I want to.
Like I want to. I'm like, yeah, I want to be rich.
I want to know how badly I would have to sell my soul and what does that look like? I'm watching a lot of Bloodline and there's a lot of soul selling in that.
I don't know.
I just, you know what I mean? I wonder, like I should like TikTok. We should stop saying we Google and we should say we start TikToking.
We started TikToking. Yeah.
Where like,
that's where all my news comes from now.
Kind of. I think I don't know. You like to think that it's because it appears that your peer is relating the information to you, but they could just be hired actors.
They could
be. With a lobbyist like supporting them in the background.
They could be, but I
think
guess...
about it. That's what every, like when you aspire to have a sponsor.
Yeah.
You are using your mouth for their words.
Yes.
Which could be risky.
Yeah, because you have to...
So you could totally be bought off by like a lobbyist and still like the toast could be like brought to you by, you don't even know it.
I know. I could be bought.
Oh, I could be sold and bought.
Yeah. It's fine. Any day.
Yeah. Call me now. Let's see.
All right. Well, I think we solved civilization
No, we're going to watch it crumble together.
You know.
Now you do like Roman Empire. You will be thinking about the
Now
end of the
I
world.
am going to be thinking about it all the
They
time.
influence your purchases and your mind.
Don't buy any more stupid shoes.
Whatever. Finally. You know what? Those shoes are the least of my problem with you. Oh, Jesus. Are you kidding? I have fucking extensions.
You don't get the eyelashes.
I don't. However, I do get a Dysport and I get like dip nails
Yep.
and whatever else stuff. A lot more makeup.
Yep.
Yeah, what else am I doing because of you? Quite a bit, actually. So those shoes. It's the first time ever.
All right, besties. Make sure you share this episode with your bestie. That is how we continue to grow. We are able to continue to keep on podcasting every single week. And make sure you are subscribed on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.